Hi guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about a different topic from self-harm. I wanted to talk to you about my own country, which is Switzerland. Not Sweden, Switzerland. We get confused a lot. But instead of just talking about the mountains and the chocolate and the cheese, I wanted to talk about things you probably don't know about Switzerland. So I decided to make two videos. One that I'm making right now about 5 progressive things that you can find in Switzerland, and then I'm gonna do another video about 5 conservative things that you can find in Switzerland. But first off, just as a PSA, I guess, the goal of these videos is not to make a political debate or anything like that, but as I'm the one presenting it, I just wanted to lay out my biases and my positions on the table just so you can have the full picture and maybe get why I'm talking about these topics in these manners and all of that. So I'm left-wing, I'm more of a progressive type person, so my own opinions will probably show through those videos, but this is not the goal. As I said, the goal is not to make it a political debate or anything like that. It's just to share with you fun facts about Switzerland that you probably didn't know. So let's get started. First progressive thing that you can find in Switzerland is very good recycling/waste management systems. These are the official trash bags that you have to use. First off, you have to use official trash bags. You can't use any other trash bags, otherwise you'll get in trouble. Do you know how much these cost? You have 10 trash bags in those. 10, how big are these? 35 liters trash bags. For 10, it's 20 bucks. So when the trash bags are so expensive, you're pretty motivated to recycle, especially because it's really accessible here. We have very good recycling systems, so most people recycle. And when we have things we can't recycle, which happens with plastic and with a lot of other things, we don't do it the American way of just putting it in a landfill and basically hoping it disappears one day. To Europeans, this is a system that sounds very weird. What we do in Switzerland is that we burn it. We burn it in a very controlled setting where the heat that is produced from the fire is then reused. I think it's reused to heat some houses or something like that. Well, it's reused, and then the fumes that come from this, they're filtered and they're very well managed. I don't exactly know how, but the fumes are very filtered, and then what's left is put back in the air. So it's a very efficient system. It's a pretty clean system. Obviously it's not the best, but for what we can do, I think it's a pretty efficient system. And yeah, we're known to have a very good waste management/recycling system. Second thing, which is a bit more controversial, I guess, is assisted suicide. Assisted suicide is where someone that is very sick or very in pain, very good sentence, someone who's in a lot of pain can ask a doctor from a specific organization to help them end their life in a more peaceful way and a painless way. Obviously this is a very controversial topic, but this is something that is legal in Switzerland and in Belgium too, I think, but otherwise in Europe it's not something that's very common. So a lot of people actually come to Switzerland or to Belgium to die because they can't have assisted suicide in their country. Again, not everyone can go to any random doctor to ask them to have them die. This is not how it works. It's a very structured process. Yeah, it's something that's legal in Switzerland, and that I guess we can say is pretty progressive. Whether it's good or bad, I think it's completely up to you, but I guess we can call it pretty progressive. Fourth one, which is a typical Swiss political feature, is the referendum/initiative right. I'll see if I can explain it decently enough, otherwise I'm just gonna put clips of people explaining it better than me. But basically what it means is that if you're 18 or older and yet you are a Swiss citizen, you can propose a bill to the parliament if you get enough signatures in a certain amount of time, either to add a new law, which is an initiative, or to change a law that has passed, which is a referendum. It's called semi-direct democracy, I think. I think it's a pretty unique feature. I don't know of other countries that also have this, but basically it means that you have more of a grip on what goes on in the parliament and in the politics and all of that. And it also means that we vote a lot. We vote 4 times a year on new laws, new regulations, new elections and all of that. So that's a very Swiss thing. Fourth thing is cannabis. Some forms, not all, some forms of cannabis are legal in Switzerland and have been for something like 2 to 3 years now. I think it's a pretty recent change. Basically what you can find here in most stores is CBD cannabis. You won't find anything, at least legally, that has more than 1% THC, so the psychoactive element. That you only have the basically THC-free version called CBD. So it's not like in Canada, like they did, or what in Colorado, I think, where just all weed is legalized and you can buy everything you want pretty much anywhere, I think, and you can find it in dispensaries for medical use. Here Cannabis for medical use is pretty much non-existent. I think you can have it if you have multiple sclerosis, and that's it. And it's just it's a nasal spray. It's not like you're smoking a bong in your living room and like, hey, it's legal. It's not a thing here in Switzerland, but you have some types of recreational cannabis that are legal and that have been for a few years now. So again, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. This is not my intention, but this is something that you can find in Switzerland. And the last one, which is also pretty heavily controversial, I guess, is regarding drug policy. It's regarding drug consumption rooms and heroin prescriptions. And to be fair, those are things that most Swiss citizens don't really even know about. Drug consumption rooms, I think more people know about, but the heroin prescription, most people don't know about. I learned about it in social school. So those are two programs, two things that are designed for people with drug addictions. And Switzerland is the country that invented those two things in the early 90s, I think, because especially the city of Bern and Zurich had huge drug problems that were worldwide known and that shocked everyone. Sky-high numbers of death by overdose, theft, prostitution. It was really a very bad situation. So the Swiss government said, hey, what can we do? And this is where they started to be very big on harm reduction. So a drug consumption room is exactly what it sounds like. It's a place where you can go to take illicit drugs that you have purchased. They don't provide any drugs. You have to bring your own drug, but they will supply you with clean needles or pipes if you sniff or anything like that. They will provide you with the material to consume it, and then you will be supervised during and afterwards to basically make sure you're safe, you're not having an overdose or something like that. And then heroin prescription is also something that is exactly what it sounds like. It's designed for people with drug addiction who have basically tried it all. They've tried methadone, they've tried rehab, they've tried detox multiple times, and nothing has worked. Well, for those people in Switzerland, what you can do is go to a special program, again, a very well structured program, but those people can go to a place where they would be prescribed medical grade heroin, and they will have to come twice a day at the same place to inject themselves with this medical grade heroin. If it's the first time you hear about them, I can imagine those are very weird things to imagine. But both of these things have done wonders to decrease the rates of death by overdose, of HIV transmission, of hepatitis transmission, of cost for the society as a general thing. And I have visited these places in my social work degree. I visited a drug consumption room and a heroin prescription place, and it was a very interesting thing. As you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about those two topics. I find them very interesting, so if you're interested, I can do an entire video about them. I don't think most other countries have heroin prescription. I think Canada has some, but I think it's mostly also basically almost the only ones, I think. But the drug consumption rooms are pretty, I guess, mainstream now in Europe. You definitely have some in France, you have some in the UK, you have some in Copenhagen, you have some probably in Germany too. If you're interested about that topic, I will leave some videos and all of that about that here in the cards if you want to know more about that, and also about the other topics I've talked about. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Now I would love to know if you knew any of these things about Switzerland, or did you just learn about them? And also, are these things that you can find in your country or none at all? I'd love to know your answers. So please comment them down below, and as I said, I'm going to do a video about 5 more conservative things that you can find in Switzerland in a bit. We'll see when I do it. So yeah, as usual, if you want to chat with me or see daily content from me, you can hit me up on Instagram, link is in the description. As always, I answer to every DM I get, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys. Do you know how much these cost? This is a 10 bag. Do you know how much these cost? This is for a 10 bag. How do you call them? Do you know how much these cost? This is a 10 pack. Do you know how much these cost? This is for a 10 pack.